Yeah. Yeah. Come and never sleep on me. Eyes on my chain 숙여 너의 고개를 what you looking at fool 너의 눈 허리 멍청했고 find your comfort from another yeah. I go low like undercover yeah. Wanna know my name 죽지 않은 일은 위에 부어버려 기름 guess you can even guess me cause I'm baby high low로 확실해 not like maybe Devil let me welcome to my palace 찾지 않아 Alice you just keep on wonder You just keep on wonder 찾지 않아 Alice but 너의 memory I just pop a bin Danny have been 나는 걸어 Boeing 747 날개 위
Hello everyone, welcome back to For Your Ears Only, a Bondcast. It's me, your host For Your Eyes Only, here with my boy Colton Flatt. How you doing, Colton?
I'm good, John. How are you today?
Doing good, just hanging out up here in Martin.
It's good to see you.
How's things down there?
Fine as always.
Mabry, how are you doing?
I'm good. I'm well. I love your backdrop. I know I said it pre-show, but I want the audience to know that I love it.
That's pretty
Yeah,
dope.
I really do appreciate that. Thank you. This is my bar, which is pretty much a shed outside my house that my wife and I converted into like a bar.
Cool.
So I've got like just all sorts of Bond stuff out here. Probably next episode I'll move the camera around and get another backdrop with some of it in there.
You should just make a video of
Just detailing it.
of a tour, and then you can kind of point out some of the more interesting things, like some of the sentimental stuff, and talk about it. That'd be a cool video.
Yeah,
And then-
I think so
And then
too.
after you post that one, you know what you should do?
What?
You should dress up like Roger Moore's James Bond and come in, and I'll fix you a drink.
Sounds good.
Ah, yeah. I'll be the Bond girl.
Oh.
You could stuff your bra.
So
So
today we're going over 1974's The Man with the Golden Gun. So what do we think about it, guys?
I got to be honest. Like, I was surprised how much I enjoyed it. I didn't have a high bar, so I had fun.
I think this movie took us all by surprise.
Yeah.
This was not one of those that I revisited very frequently.
Neither.
When I was, watching them regularly, but I liked it. I was surprised. I had a really good time watching it.
So whenever I was a kid, I didn't have this movie for a long time. Whenever I was a kid, but I remember watching it a lot because it, all those Bond marathons and stuff.
Yeah.
I would always see this one during the Bond marathons. I mean, whenever I was a kid, I really liked the Golden Gun, but like the movie itself never was like a big deal with me. But I mean, and even to like just a few weeks ago, whenever I watched this movie, like I didn't really think much of it. Now my wife, on the other hand, Michelle, who I wanted to be in this with us, but she refused. She loves this movie. This is like
Really?
literally like either her number one or number two, like
Wow.
movie. Yes, so it's a
That's high. That's high praise.
yes.
Really
This
is.
is like one of her favorites. Honestly, I always kind of scoffed at that because I was like, you mean to tell me that's one of your favorites?
Yeah.
But I must say, man, whenever I watched it, I guess the stars aligned, but I mean, I just had a lot of fun with it, man. It's just a great movie. I just happen to love like how it's like Bangkok, Thailand.
Yeah.
Like I just like how it's showcasing that part of the world in like 1974. It's just kind of interesting to me.
That
like,
probably wasn't a popular location to shoot back then, because it's probably the same way now, but just some of the scenes really showcased it's a
poverty.
little poverty ridden.
Yes.
So it's it's not. I guess unless you know where to look, it's not really a pretty location, but it is interesting.
Yes. Um, I think this movie's got a lot of good things about it. I think it's got a lot of bad things about it too. But there's a few things that like are always stand out. And it's gotta be Christopher Lee as Scaramanga.
Saruman.
And
Count Dooku.
Yeah, that too.
so who do you think of whenever you think of Christopher Lee?
It's definitely Dooku.
Ah.
What?
I definitely think of Count Dooku. Honestly,
Okay.
like his portrayal as Count Dooku is like one of the most sophisticated thing about the prequels, just because his air as an actor in those
He's so
films.
good.
Yeah.
Anything. I guess I guess maybe it's because this movie hasn't been as fresh on my mind, but Saruman for me. That's who I think of.
Well, like whenever I think of him, I just think of Scaramanga.
Mm.
You know. So, we open with the gun barrel. We get it's the same scene from the previous one. The way he holds his arm. Remember?
Yeah.
I think y'all commented that on that
It's just
last episode.
it's not very practical.
Yeah, I know. But that's the last time he will do that in the.
Thank God he's gonna hurt himself.
Remind me later to talk about the way he handles his firearm.
Are you talking about Scaramanga, right? Or are you talking
More.
about? Oh, okay.
Just bring that up later whenever we're talking about like the final act of the film, if you guys remember.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I might actually know what you're talking about.
I don't.
Anyway, so the opening scene, we get Christopher Lee and Maud Adams and Nick Nack, and they're on island. What do you think about this scene?
So I like the introduction to the island. I think it looks really, really cool. It sets like a different pace for the movie, I think. And then you get the trippy funhouse aspects of his lair. And I really enjoy that because like I guess it gives you like a look at the inside of his personality, how he's trying to mess with the psyche of his victims. And we meet Nick Nack for the first time. I love Nick Nack. I'm not even trying to bury the lead, dude. I love that little guy.
Well, that's what stuck out to me when it opened was the location itself. It's beautiful. And I might be wrong in thinking this way, but it's not normal that when a Bond movie opens that it opens with the villain. Yeah. So with that being said, I like that they chose to open it that way, like because you might go into this if you're not familiar with the series, you might think, oh, well, that's James Bond because Christopher Lee kind of fits the bill.
Yeah.
And it's interesting.
So I want to ask you this: whenever Christopher Lee was, laying down at the beach, he hollers at Nick Nack for something. Do y'all remember what it is?
I remember Nick Nack having a platter with hot sauce, Tabasco. I couldn't remember if he specifically asked for it, but I do remember Nick Nack carrying the hot sauce.
I'm just glad Tabasco got some product.
Got a shout out. Tabasco, if you want to sponsor us.
That'd be hot.
So yeah, we got this gangster who's coming to try to kill Scaramanga. So do you remember this guy from Diamonds Are Forever?
Are we to believe that this is the same character?
I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. I like to think it is.
Me too. That's what I was thinking the whole time. I remember that from when I was a kid when I watched this movie, and as a kid I thought it was the same character, but now being a little older and I'm more familiar with the series, like what they did with Henderson and Blofeld. Yeah. So, but I really like to think that that's the same guy.
Yeah,
So-
it's nice to he had his own his little universe, you know.
Right. Yeah. They need to do it, or it's too late now. They could have done a spin-off with him.
So
But,
you guys might think less of me, but I don't know what other guy he was in Diamonds.
Okay,
What?
so
Yeah, like
Colton in
I must-
Diamonds.
I started this movie before I started Diamonds, and then like it never. Sorry.
Okay, so do you remember whenever they throw Plenty O'Toole out of the hotel
I didn't
room?
know there was a pool down there.
Yeah.
That guy.
That was him.
Really,
Yeah.
man, was he wearing a hat when he did that?
Yes.
Okay, was he wearing a
Yeah.
hat?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That guy's always wearing a hat.
Yeah.
Man, I did not make the connection. You guys need to pull my Bond card. I'm sorry.
It's all right. You get a
It's
pass.
been it's been a while since Diamonds, and plus, which we haven't mentioned this, but we're coming off a 4-week break. Is that right? So
It's been long.
I had to go on a hiatus for a minute.
yeah, I forgive you, Colton. It's no, that's yeah, minor character.
Thanks, guys.
Very minor character. But yeah, so obviously, our mafia gangster protagonist here finds himself on the wrong end of a bullet.
Yep, on the wrong end of the golden gun.
Yep.
He got banged.
So, what do you think about the little business that Scaramanga and Knick-Knack have? Like Knick-Knack keeps on, hiring people to kill Scaramanga because if Scaramanga dies, he inherits his island.
Yeah, it's an interesting dynamic.
Yeah, just kind of stupid, but
Like,
Okay, yeah.
like I'll talk about it at the end of the movie. I'm not even gonna bring it up. You guys just go on.
but
Well, it's a really poor motivation. Yeah, they could have spent a little more time, maybe giving him a better reason to want him killed.
But I will say this: the other night, whenever I was watching this movie, my stepson Isaac, he came home and came in the living room and watched the rest of the movie with me.
Mm.
He really liked Knick-Knack. That was his
Of
favorite.
course,
His
yeah.
favorite character.
I think everybody likes Knick-Knack, man.
Yeah.
For sure.
I just thought it was funny that he liked it. But yeah. So anyway, what about the title sequence? Do you like? So what about the song?
Nah, no.
I don't hate it. I feel like it's forgettable, kind of.
A lot of innuendos.
Yes.
It's probably the most smutty of any of the songs. But I have to be honest with you, I love this song. Like I do.
I'll say this: as much as I don't like it, it's very catchy.
it really is. But okay. Do you guys know Alice Cooper?
Yes.
Yeah.
Alice Cooper wrote a song for this movie.
Is it out there?
Really?
Yes.
This is where we pause the podcast and you play it and we get copyright struck.
No. Well, you can say the title.
But the title of it is "The Man with the Golden Gun."
Okay. I'll have to look that up. I did not know that.
Yeah, it's pretty good. But
That's always interesting. There's a few movies with alternate title songs, and it is fun to try to imagine like how the title sequence would be different with those alternate songs.
Johnny Cash wrote a song for Thunderball.
I do, yeah.
That's wild, isn't it?
Did not.
Anyway,
I think I sent that to you a long time ago, Colton. Maybe.
Maybe, but I don't. It was probably when I wasn't a Bond fan.
It's a decent
I like
song.
the song. I
Yeah.
do.
I love Johnny Cash. So
He also wrote a song for the Dukes of Hazzard.
what?
Yeah, for the show. Yeah. It's called the General Lee.
General Lee, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Anyway, man, old Johnny Cash just kind of took over for a little bit, didn't it?
Yeah. Was this not the Johnny Cash
The
podcast?
Johnny Cash podcast.
It will be in like 12 more movies.
Like, but like the title sequence of this movie, I feel like they're like really get close to just like nudity.
This isn't the first example.
Yeah, like it's just like they're getting really close to like just well, here it is, you know.
Yeah.
I don't mind it. I'm here for it.
Okay, so after the title sequence, we see Bond coming in to M's office. Okay,
Hmm.
You guys know where we're at because I want to.
Yeah.
So anyway, Bond comes into M's office. M's got two other guys with him.
Hmm.
Do you guys know who they are?
One of them is Bill Tanner.
Yes, one's Bill Tanner,
I don't.
and the other one's like his name is Carl Throp or Carl Thorpe or something like that. It's the redhead guy is who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Carl Thorpe or something like that.
I did not realize that Tanner was a character in these older movies. The first movie that I can remember that he was referenced in was Goldeneye, right? Was it
Yeah,
Goldeneye? Okay.
Golden enough.
He was in the novels, right?
Yeah, he was a fairly big character in the novels. Like,
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
yeah. But the movies don't do anything with him up until like that. You know, this is the first movie he was in, and he does nothing.
He's just there.
He's just
He's
literally
a prop.
And then I mean, he shows up here and there, and it's not until like the Brosnan and the Craig films that they actually start doing anything with Tanner.
Where he has some dialogue.
Yeah, but
So Tanner's the guy in the books that Bond's always talking about being fond of, right?
yeah. Bond loves Tanner. I mean, like like brotherly love, I guess. You know, their best. Like I think he's supposed to be like
His work buddy.
yeah, like his best friend in the service, I believe.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Maybe love isn't the right word to use there, you know.
Mutual respect.
Yeah, values him is what I was alluding to.
Does James Bond love?
So the guy that plays Tanner in this scene, it's Michael Goodliff or Goodlife, or I'm not sure how to say his name, but he is in another show that I like. And Colton, you might remember this show because I sent you the theme to it, the Callan,
The show, The Light Bulb.
Yes.
I love that.
So in that show, like that guy that plays Tanner in this movie, he plays like, I guess, Callan's version of M. They call him Hunter. And that guy plays him. So I just like that Bond and Callan kind of connection there.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Like any character from Callan that can translate over to Bond, I just think that's really cool. But that guy, he killed himself.
That sucks.
Oh. Well.
But anyway,
that's not the first Bond related actor or actress to take their own life either.
No.
Who was the guy that played For Your Eyes Only, or not For Much With Love?
Pedro Almodovar.
Yeah, he committed suicide.
Yep.
Well, the woman that played was it Ruby in Lazenby's film? Was that her name?
Yeah.
She took her own life too.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. I think she was really, really sick and just
Yep.
couldn't take it anymore.
Yeah, same case with the guy that I mentioned.
Yeah. So what do you think about the gold bullet with Bond's number on it?
I thought it was cool. Just like a nice little thing. Like really expensive, but I mean,
yeah.
I've got the money, so
if I was Bond, I'd keep it as a souvenir.
Yeah.
Or if I ever got, tight on cash, I'd sell it on eBay.
Well, as much as Bond merch goes for, probably make some.
Well, yeah, on top of the fact that it's made out of gold.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Done, but yes.
Before we get too far down the road, I wanted to touch on the mannequins in Scaramanga's funhouse.
Yeah.
Did you guys notice the Al Capone
Yeah.
mannequin? He like
Was
blinks.
alive.
He blinks at the muzzle flash whenever he fires the Thompson. Yeah. Anyway. The M briefing scene.
But so pretty much, Bond takes M takes Bond off of the case he's on, which is having to do with finding the Solex agitator because England's going through an energy crisis now. So this actually happened in real life. They were going through an energy crisis at this time. So it kind of automatically dates the movie,
Yeah.
But so since M thinks that Bond's got a price on his head, he takes him off the case. So then Bond sets out to find Scaramanga for himself. So he goes to Beirut. So he's at this dance club, this girl dancing with the gold bullet. What'd you guys think about this setup?
Okay. So I have to say this. During the fight,
Camera crew.
Huh?
Yep.
The camera crew. Like, you can see the camera operator in the mirror
Yeah.
perfectly. Like, that was not very well choreographed, and it's, like, very jarring. Like, I sent Jonathan the picture before we started. Like, man, I like the scene, but, like, I thought it was wild that they didn't at least try to, like, angle it better where you couldn't see the camera crew.
They could have cut away right before the mirror moves and avoided that. I want to say something real quick about the M scene. I love how M is like, "Hey, you ever heard of Scaramanga?" And Bond's like, sits there and thinks, like, do you know anything about him? And he's like, oh yeah, just everything.
No, like it's what he said. He's like Scaramanga. Oh yes, the man with the golden gun. It was like born in a circus. His mother.
Yeah, and it lists all these, gives him his biography.
Like
what?
Like M gave Money Penny a fucking what's it called? No. What's the It's a file about somebody.
Dossier.
Yeah.
Jesus. Just fire me. I could not remember the name of that for my life.
Dude, didn't you just wake up?
Yes.
Yeah, dude, it's fine.
I like that word. I know that word.
Oh.
Could not get it back in my brain. I'm so sorry.
That's all right. So we're at the Bottoms Up Club, right?
Dude, it is the
Not
sleaziest,
yet.
nastiest thing.
Oh, I'm sorry. My bad. I didn't mean to jump ahead.
We still got a little bit to go before we get to the bottoms up.
Okay.
yeah.
I apologize.
My bad.
Are you good?
No, yeah, we're at the cabaret thing.
Yeah.
Bond at the cabaret, seeing him like suck that bullet out of that girl's belly button is like the sleaziest, nastiest thing I've seen James Bond do to this point.
I wanted this whole scene to just not exist. Like,
why are the dudes coming in to fight? Like, do they just not like the look of Bond or what?
The only thing that I could think of is they didn't like Bond like making eyes at the dancer. Like,
I bet he's back there sucking the gold bullet out of my girl's belly button.
I didn't like this scene. I wish
it is a weird scene.
I wish Bond would have just walked into the cabaret club, seen the bullet laying on the floor, and be like, "Oh, here it is," and then he has to choke on it, which is not a good look.
No.
Then he has to retrieve the bullet after swallowing it.
Yeah, he had to pass that for sure.
Like, do anything else.
Morris
So
Bond's
he
a poop dick.
goes back to MI6 and they analyze the bullet, and they refer to the bullet as being made by a guy named Lazar. And I love the way that like Bond's like, what is Lazar? And like Q's like, chap who made the bullet 007. You know,
Is
like,
Bond an idiot here?
he's just like Bond's an idiot in this movie. Like
Because all right, so even I know you can have custom calibers made,
yes.
and Bond's like, that doesn't exist, and Q's like, no, you can make them. And then he's like, what's a Lazar? And Q's like, it's a dude's name, man. Like,
Have a double helping of Lazar.
yeah. Oh, I love Lazar, but I hate Mondays.
All right, Garfield.
So
You know what? You're not even Garfield. You're gonna be Heathcliff from now. I'm sorry. John.
Are you good? So what about whenever we go to Lazar's little house? We got his I'm guessing his wife and his kids out there eating rice. We go into his workshop.
Mm.
And so what do you think about this guy? What do you think about some of the interactions that go on here?
I feel like he's in control of the situation until James Bond turns the gun around.
Mm. Yeah. Well, see, I mean, he didn't know why Bond was there, so he was just like, hey, he's like a kid who's got his best friend over to spend the night. Look at all this stuff,
Yeah.
and and then Bond's like, okay, you're gonna tell me how you're getting these bullets to Scaramanga or whatever, and yeah, just the whole tone of the scene does a 180, and this is one of the scenes. So Bond's kind of an asshole in this movie.
Yeah.
But this is one of the few scenes in this movie, or the only scene where it kind of works.
Yeah.
Like Roger Moore plays it really well here. I like this whole scene.
Yeah,
Um,
I think he really plays it well. He says I've got it aimed precisely at your groin. So speak now or forever
Yep.
hold.
That's an awesome line.
I thought it was great.
And then bang! Oh, you're right. It is an inch too low.
But so anyway, we follow him and we see how he's getting this stuff to Scaramanga. Maud Adams' character, Andrea Anders, is collecting them. So Bond follows her back to her hotel room, and we also see along the way we see Mary Goodnight. What do you think about her, guys?
Man, I love Mary Goodnight. I liked her in the book.
Hey, what does he say in the book, Colton?
Was it Good Morning, Good Night?
Yeah, good morning, good night.
Love it.
What novel is she introduced in? I remember.
I mean, she's in more than one. Like,
Yeah, she's a recurring character in the novels, but
I can't remember what the first one she's in is.
I think it was when I read. She's in Doctor No, right? In the
She
novel.
might be mentioned in it. I don't know.
There was one where she plays maybe not like a big part, but I'm just trying to remember what book I remember her from. But her on-screen version, I don't like her. She's annoying.
I think she's a ditz.
Yes.
And she like they lean into the fact that she's a ditz.
Quite a bit.
Like inconsistencies with the female in Diamonds Are Forever. I did not like it because she was intelligent, and then they played her for a ditz.
Yes, I will give her the. Sorry.
This character's a ditz through and through. So like,
right.
They played to her strengths.
That is the only credit I can give her, is her character is consistent throughout the entire movie.
Yeah.
So, have you ever seen the Michael Caine movie Get Carter?
No, but I've heard of it.
I don't think so.
She's in it too.
Speaking of Michael Caine, he's retiring.
I love Michael Caine, bud.
I do too.
He's ancient, man. How old is he?
He's really old.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say he's in his 80s.
Yeah, he can. It's okay. He can retire.
So, anyway, I like the way that Bond gets into the hotel room. he tells the guy, he's like, "It's a surprise," and he's like, "Oh, a surprise!"
Oh, a surprise! Like as loud as he can.
That guy was just so happy.
Yeah.
So, yeah, like Caleb, you were talking about Bond being kind of an asshole in this movie. So
Yeah.
this is
Really highlighted here.
yeah, like you know, all that kind of just grabbing and pulling her arm and
They still weren't sure how to write these scenes for
yeah,
Roger
this
Moore.
this is like the most un-Roger Moore Roger Moore Bond moment. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And look, like I said about the Lazar scene, that was fine. Like I I wish I wish the latter more films had more of that in it.
Yes.
But him, the way he interacts with Andrea, is that her name?
Yeah.
I didn't care for that.
Yeah, I didn't much care for it either.
Yeah. I think it would have been better if he had just pulled out his Walther and been like, "Tell me, or I'm going to shoot you." Like,
Exactly.
yeah.
So anyway, now we're at the bottoms up. So, and like I mean, I think this is another like really sleazy moment. You know what I mean?
Yeah. The
It's
transition.
like that early 1970s, just kind of like smutty, sleazy.
I was not expecting that when I was watching this movie. Like the transition. So they're drinking wine or champagne or whatever. And he goes bottoms up, and then it shows this ass
Yes.
out of
And
nowhere.
like,
I was like, okay.
and this is where we are introduced to Lieutenant Hip, which is the Chinese detective.
He should be fired.
Yes, he is probably one of the dumbest characters. I mean, I love him for what he does because he's just so stupid, but like he is an idiot.
Yeah.
But and we see Henderson. No, who was it? What is the guy's name?
The solar
Yes,
guy.
Gibson. That's his name.
Okay.
Gibson.
Yeah, I always pull up the names because I'm the same way. I can't ever remember every character's name, but I believe you're right.
So we see him get shot, and Bond gets arrested. Now, let me ask you this: if you were in Hip's place, wouldn't you be like, when you get in the car, be like, "Hey, Bond, I'm
Yeah.
Lieutenant Hip. I'm Hong Kong. Nice to meet you. Let's get you out of here."
Yes. Okay. So like, get in the car, roll the windows up. Hell, you can even wait till you take off down the road. Hey, by the way, I'm not really a cop. I'm on your side. But no, they go to the dock. They get on the boat. This whole time, Bond's thinking that he's been captured by,
renegade Hong Kong police or
sure,
something.
or an enemy of some sort.
Yeah.
And that was for the audience.
Yes.
That was 100% for the audience. But then once you realize who he is and what's going on, then the audience is like, well, that was like really stupid.
Yes. Yeah, so we see that MI6, well, M has an office in the middle of Hong Kong Bay.
And what is up with the shape of the inside of that office?
I know, like
It is insane. Go ahead, John. I'm sorry.
Wait, are you know the ship is like tilted? Is that what you're referring to? The ship, it's a sunken ship.
Okay, man, I was not paying attention at all.
But I mean, it is like all sorts of,
I thought that was awesome.
Yeah.
Was that the ship? Was that the ship that they said sunk in the bay?
Yes.
Okay, so that was the point of the movie, or that was the point of mentioning that. Then, okay,
yeah,
and I totally missed that.
A terrible place to have your secret base because it's good. That's attracting all sorts of like tourist. Activity.
Yeah.
But also, it's not going anywhere. So,
or you could make the argument that it's hiding in plain sight.
Yeah.
But I was trying to think of like some of the highlights from this movie, like some of my favorite parts. This might be my favorite part. This set is so cool.
Yeah. So we get a particularly crusty M in these scenes. He says, he says, I almost wish Scaramanga did have a contract on you.
Dude, if I was Bond, I'd be like, what the fuck?
Like, dang, like it's bad when your boss literally wants you dead, you know?
I'd be like, dog. Really?
It's like, and we've been through so much, dude.
Yeah.
He's like, you came to my wedding.
I'd be like, dude, I know this is only my second movie, but
It's like, you don't hate me like you hate that other guy.
this never happened to the other fella.
But
What's M's name again?
Miles Messavy.
Okay, that's what I thought. Sir Miles.
So Miles.
I did not know that.
That's in the books.
That's in the book.
Revoke my Bond card.
License revoked, which is a lesson. Was a reference to like a fan made movie never made or something like that.
No, that was the original title.
Yeah. License to Kill.
Maybe that's what it was. Something like that. I knew I read it.
Dude, I wonder if there are any movie posters with that printed on it.
That'd be really cool.
There is.
Okay. So my uncle, this is completely irrelevant, but since this was brought up, I want to tell Colton because you'll get a kick out of this. My uncle has a poster of one of the last Star Wars movie in the last original trilogy, Return of the Jedi. It says Revenge of the Jedi. Yes.
That is awesome.
Jealous.
Yeah.
Which uncle is it and where does he live?
Anyway, the boat scene.
I'm sorry, Caleb.
No, but seriously, I will try to get like a picture of it at the very least, because
dude, those Revenge of the Jedi posters, like official, are so cool. Like, I know I've seen like remakes and stuff like that, but like if he's got an original, that is like amazing.
As far as I know, it is because he was a big Star Wars fan when he was younger, and
next time you get to talk to him, find out if it's real and find out if he was disappointed when he watched the movie in theaters.
Okay.
That's my favorite Star Wars film, but like
I like it.
Well, I know a lot of people don't like parts of it, but like the reception of that movie because the Ewoks and everything, like,
well, yeah,
like a bunch of people didn't like it when it came out, but I'm gonna tell you, man, I'd like to know what he thinks, but also like I absolutely adore that movie.
Yeah.
Sorry about our tangent, Jonathan.
Yeah, let's get back to the man from Uncle.
The man from Uncle. So now that Bond and Hip know each other, we're going to have Bond and Hip do a little bit of surveillance on Scaramanga. I mean, not Scaramanga, on High Fat.
Yeah.
So what do you think about what about the way that he does this? You know, he just waltzes over there and he thinks that they never met, so he's pretending he's Scaramanga. I mean, that's a big gamble, you know.
It is.
Like, seriously,
that's very reckless.
Yes.
And I'm starting to notice a pattern here. Bond's disguises seem to never work.
Yeah.
Also, like I will say in this scene, the females in the pool in the scene, correct?
That
is full nudity. Like nothing's hidden. Like
that's what I was referring to earlier when he was talking about the title sequence. Like this is
Yeah, like I just feel like the screenplay writers were just so like hot and bothered the whole time they were writing this to come up with some of this.
They're like, I have not touched a woman in 17 years.
Yes. Like but yeah. So Bond gets schedules dinner with High Fat. We see him smoke a cigar, and we also see him take his third nipple off.
It was we haven't talked about the third nipple thing the whole time. That is such a weird distinguishing factor for a character.
Yes, it is.
Like, usually characters don't take off their shirts
Yeah.
Like, to have that as, oh, how do I know you're really Scaramanga? He's like, look, I have a third nipple.
It is. Look, it is weird. I
Yeah.
completely agree, but it just it's cool. I think it's cool. I love it when a Bond villain has a distinguishing physical feature.
Well,
Like,
it's really memorable. I won't
yeah,
say it isn't.
yeah.
It's just like
It's odd. It's just odd.
I was not expecting it going into this movie. That is probably the biggest takeaway I have from this movie. And if it was not Count Dooku, I would probably bash the shit out of that point of the movie. But it's Christopher Lee, so I'm just gonna say what I've said and I'm done. But it's strange.
All right. Well, that was
So, real quick, when a Bond, like, I know it's tropey, I get it, whatever,
Yeah.
but like when a Bond villain doesn't have some sort of physical deformity or whatever, it's just they're so forgettable. Like Green, Dominic Green from Quantum of Solace.
Who is
He has a weird face. That's it.
who played him? Because I don't even remember that.
I don't even know the actor's name.
I can't remember who it is either. But so anyway, whenever Bond goes back later that night, those sumo wrestlers try to get him, and then they pretty much knock him out. And like Nick Nack is literally just about to kill Bond until High Fat tells him to take Mr. Bond to school.
Yeah.
So he wakes up at a karate school, and I don't know if you remember, but he wakes up and he says, "Definitely heaven." So, he wakes up, might think he's dead a little bit, but so what about the little karate scene here? It's funny think like watching this and watching Roger Moore kind of like fumble around and like kind of goof around and then jump out a window, and then think about that and compare it to Daniel Craig, who is literally doing like all this insane martial arts stuff,
Yeah.
and could do stuff.
Well,
like that.
I mentioned something about that like maybe a couple of episodes ago, where like it's like the actors now take this stuff a little more serious. So
Yes.
when even if they are letting a stunt double fill in for them during some of the action sequences, like they'll get just like a little bit of training.
Yeah.
That way it looks like they know what they're doing. I mean, we already touched on how Roger Moore holds his gun. So
as bad as this sequence is, and as bad as the fighting is, or whatever, I really enjoyed it.
I want to point out the contrast in the choreography. So when Bond comes to, it's the two guys fighting with the swords, right?
Yes.
I think the camera cuts twice, maybe three times during that whole fight. Like, it's the choreography of that fight in particular. It just shows that those two really like actually knew what they were doing. And then you get to Roger Moore's fight, where it's like 6 different angles for one kick. Yeah, I just thought that was worth pointing out.
So, but we know whenever the alpha male shows up, because he's wearing a black karate outfit. That one guy, the badass karate dude. So
Bond knew as soon as he saw the black gi.
He's like, "Yep.
Where's the nearest window?"
I'm jumping out it.
So this next part, guys, I'm gonna be straight with you, is so like ridiculously stupid. All right, so he jumps out somehow.
Hip and his nieces just so happen to be driving around.
Yes. So the nieces get out and like whip like everyone's ass,
which was a little ham-handed.
And then like Hip just like literally drives off and leaves Bond. Like, what? I still do not understand what this is about. Like,
dude, even when I was a kid, I'm talking like 8, 9, 10 years old, when I saw that scene, I was like, that's stupid.
Yes.
It is stupid.
Like ridiculously brain dead. Like,
Yes, and I get that he's an idiot, because he waited 3 hours before he ever told Bond who he was. But like, you can't tell when somebody gets in the passenger seat beside you. Like he's not in yet. Just hold on.
So, but even though this is so stupid, it does lead to Bond having some of the best moments of the movie. So he jacks that boat, and I love it when he takes the engine, he takes the thing up and uses it to like
the propeller. Yeah.
Yes. I love this.
Yeah. I love the little boy who's trying to sell the wooden elephant.
Yes. So
that was really fun.
But like, I just want to point this out. This movie is like literally trying to do Live and Let Die over again.
Yeah, not
Like,
well.
Like it's trying to have the big boat sequence, and it's even got flipping Sheriff J.W. Pepper.
This movie is asking a lot of the audience.
Yes, it is. And guys, I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, I don't hate Sheriff J.W. Pepper. He's just but this guy would never go to Thailand. He would not want to be around these people.
Okay, so
he's definitely racist, I think.
Like definitely racist.
Oh yeah, well, okay, so there's that aspect. Like, why would this racist go to Thailand? Like, there's nothing there for him unless he just gets pleasure out of spending a week there calling people pointy heads.
Pointy heads.
Either that, or it's one of those things where his wife wanted to go and he got drugged along.
Oh, okay. I wanted to touch on that too. What do they pay the cops there in Louisiana? Because not only, all right, so let's say they go on vacation like once every 3 years. They save up, they go to Thailand, whatever. He was looking at a car that, remember the AMC car?
Yes.
So he's gonna buy a car in Thailand and then pay to have it shipped to Louisiana.
Makes no sense.
Well, all right. This scene, guys, in the AMC, I'm gonna tell you, I love this whole part. Like, just him driving that car. I think it is so awesome. Like and just being around 1970s Bangkok, I just think it is like just great.
Yeah, no, I dig the car chase. I love all of that.
I think both of them are really cool driving too.
Yeah.
Like, it's not just Bond being cool driving, like Christopher Lee's being cool driving too.
Yeah, well, Christopher Lee would look cool doing anything.
Watch a paint dry.
Sure, yeah.
So,
but what was I gonna say? Yeah, no, I don't mind that the Sheriff J.W. Peppers in this. I like it. I like his character, but just the whole like why is he there?
Yeah,
I don't care.
Whenever like they do the jump, let me ask you this: on a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you dislike the slide whistle?
I know where this is going. I know exactly where this is going. You're gonna say you don't mind it.
I really don't mind it.
Motherfucker, dude.
Okay, Caleb, hear me out.
Okay.
It used to be a big deal with me. I used to just like deplore that. Like just hate it. And then finally one day I was like, you know what? This is a Roger Moore Bond movie. This is
I get it. Whatever. But
because I mean, think of some of the other crazy stuff that is happening in Moore movies, like Jaws and his girlfriend falling in love and
yes,
having
dude,
that crazy
I know.
music.
You can make a whole list, but you don't want to make that list longer. Like
I got you. I got you.
But like the slide whistle and then JW hollering, like rolling around the car, all that did not need to be in there. Just have the stunt, let the car land, and then just have it inserted, then bouncing in the seat, like Dukes of Hazzard used to do, and just call it good.
Yeah. But
So
I remember whenever I was a kid, I watched like a documentary on how they did that. Like they had like 1970s like computers like coming up with like mathematical like
You're not thinking stuntman, are you? Because in the cut scene,
not like not a video game.
okay, so there is. Well, okay. Well, the reason I say that is because in the game, you remember you do that stunt.
Yeah,
That and maybe they pulled all that straight from the documentary that you're referring to. But when you said computers, I remember that being in that cut scene
yeah,
where they've got like a graph and it's calculating the
yes.
all the stuff. So, but yeah,
so I'm gonna say this, boys. I told you guys whenever you guys brought up the slide whistle, I did not notice the slide whistle, which is weird because I usually hate slide whistle, especially in the 007 theme. But or yeah, it is the 007 theme,
yeah, you're
isn't it?
right. Yeah, that's the only place you should have a slide whistle, in my opinion. But
No, definitely not. But I will say that, like, I guess I did go back and rewatched it, and I did not mind it. Like, it might be just because it fits the tone of the movie.
y'all need to find you a third host.
Well, look, okay, so I already told you guys I don't have high expectations from Roger Moore's Bond movies. Like, I think that's why I disliked Diamond so much because I expected better out of Sean Connery.
That's fair.
But like with Roger Moore, I'm just like my belief is suspended. Like I'm just hats off. I'm just trying to enjoy it. But the thing is like whenever that scene happens, whenever campy stuff happened in like Three Stooges and old television like that, like you would hear a slide whistle noise back in the day. Like it's a sound effect that was fairly common in older media.
Yeah. Okay. So,
It happens.
all right. So even you said, I'm sorry. Continue.
What I was saying is like I guess I just expect a dumb sound effect like that with a dumb stunt, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. But here's my point. So, right, it's okay to expect dumb stuff from these movies. I get that, but it's like we've had all these gags leading up to this point, and you just keep stacking these gags on top of each other, right? Let us have one cool moment. Just let the car do a barrel roll, let it land, and then you can go back to you know your comedy.
But it's about to have a cool moment, though. You're about to have the plane.
God damn.
All right. So, all right. All right. I'm going to say this. I'm going to say this about the plane. Does it make sense? No. Is it needed? No.
Yes, it's needed.
But do I like it? Yes.
Something is needed for Scaramanga to get back to his island, to get back to Love Island.
Right.
But you know what? I'm just gonna let it be. It's fine. You know what it's missing? A fucking slide whistle.
It just needs to have slide whistles on the
That's
wing.
I was gonna say that's the sound effect for the turbine engine. It's just slide whistle going up and down. Yeah.
And it really makes him mad too, remember? Because right after
Oh
this,
yeah. Q is
M
like
is
we're
pissed off.
yeah. It's like it's feasible. We're working on one. M
M's
was
like, shut up.
thinking the same thing I was. Shut up.
But
I'm so sorry.
so pretty much after this, we know that we know Goodnight is kidnapped by Scaramanga, and Scaramanga's also got the Solex agitator. So Bond flies out in a seaplane to Scaramanga's island. So, what's your thoughts about this, guys?
I'm gonna go back again. I'm sorry. We
Okay.
glossed over Maud Adams, Andrea
Yeah,
being killed. Well, just that whole scene in general. There is a part that stuck out to me that I really liked when Scaramanga is telling Bond like pretty much why he does what he does.
Yeah.
And then Bond is pretty much like, "That's nice. You want some peanuts?" And then I guess when Bond was going through Andrea's bag, the what is it called again?
The Solex agitator.
The Solex agitator fell on the floor, and he puts it on the peanut tray that Hip is holding, and then him being an absolute idiot gives it to Goodnight. But I guess what I really wanted to point out was just like the dialogue between Scaramanga and Bond, and I really like the part where Scaramanga is pretty much like, "Look, it's like I respect you, but if we cross paths again,
yeah, it's gonna be bad. Yes.
It's on sight, dog." Like,
yeah, like Caleb, exactly. I'm glad you pointed that out because that's exactly what he said. He said, "Hey, he says I have nothing against you, so please let us do not meet again."
which is not true because he literally has a James Bond mannequin that he shoots at. So
that was pretty wild, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But
not as wild as the slide whistle.
So damn it, Caleb. So in between the part that you just mentioned, Caleb, and where Jonathan's going, I would like to mention the Sony walkie-talkie.
Yes.
Okay, so we get to see some product advertising from Sony for the walkie-talkies that they use. I think that's really cool. And also, how fucking stupid is Goodnight that to not know that she's in a flying car? Like, how do you not know that the car is going really, really fast and then feel the G-forces and then you're taking off?
I'll remember, dude. I remember. I misremembered the line. I thought she came over the walkie-talkie and said, "I think we've gotten on a plane." But this dumb bitch says, "We stopped." No, you didn't stop. You're flying, actually.
Flew in, you let them bolt some wings on the top of the car while you were taking a nap.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Who did all the body work too? Did you guys notice when the wings got put on?
Yeah.
The top contours to the top of the car perfectly.
Well, that was Lazar.
Okay.
That was Lazar.
I'll take that.
Head cannon. It worked.
That's fine with me. You see, it doesn't take much. Just give me, dude. J.W. Pepper could have been in the passenger seat with a slide whistle, and I would have been like, "Oh, that's where it came from."
What about J.W. Pepper, man? What is that, boy? Or however he says it. He's like, "That's a plane. You ain't never seen a plane before."
You never seen an airplane before?
You pointy heads ain't ever seen a plane before. Dude, look, I realize that that's probably a really offensive,
racist as hell.
Sorry,
I have never heard that racial term.
Yeah, look, I hadn't either until this movie.
I'm just covering all my bases. I want the audience to know that I'm not racist. I'm just saying what he said. So, okay. However, there is a line that he says that I love. He says, what are you late for work? Maybe if you get your pointy heads out of them pajamas.
Pajamas.
Oh, I laugh so hard at that part.
I'm one of y'all boys.
Oh, are you talking about when he pulls out his identification? Yes. Yeah. He's like, "I'm one of y'all," and then he just slaps the hank. He's like, "Get these bracelets off me."
I'm sorry. You guys can go on. I just had to bring up the Goodnight thing. I've sent us off on another tangent. I apologize.
That's fine.
Good, man.
But yeah, as far as I'm concerned, because I really like JW's.
I do too.
Characters. He almost makes up for Goodnight.
Yeah.
I think he should have been on the island. I think he should have been the one that Scaramanga kidnapped, and Bond had to go rescue JW.
Oh, Pepper. Like in an alternate universe where
he's the damn
Bond. Sorry.
It's like in an alternate universe, we get the first homosexual Bond moment between Roger Moore and Sheriff J.W. Pepper.
Whoa.
You got
Whoa.
J.W. Pepper running
Oh.
around in a bikini.
I was gonna say. I mean, I'd watch that.
What do you think about these boys?
We ain't right, man.
Look at my third nipple.
All right. Anyway, boys.
Hold on,
we'll
I
get
want to
back
pitch
to
my.
what we were-
I want to pitch my version. So what I was
Okay.
gonna say is, Bond and Goodnight. This is before she gets kidnapped. Are basically like, look, this mission has been a total shit show from the start. Fuck this. Let's go back to MI6 and we'll get another assignment. And J.W. Pepper's like, oh no, he's got to be stopped. So he goes to the island and has the 1v1 shootout with Scaramanga. But probably end different, but yeah, that's what I had in mind.
Okay.
Not the homoerotic stuff.
What I have in mind is Scaramanga having dinner with Bond, and then the sliding door opens and J.W. Pepper walks in high heels and a bikini, and Scaramanga's like, "It's so they can't conceal any weapons."
Okay.
What am I doing in this?
Let's get out of this. All right.
Ain't you pointy heads got anything else for me to wear?
All right.
Face cramps. We've got to move on.
Okay. Anyway, so Bond flies up on Scaramanga's island, and
Does that plane only have like one landing thing on one side, like one in the middle and one on the side, and not a third one?
I have no idea.
Are you talking about the
Instead of like the buoy parts, the pontoon looking.
Yeah, the pontoon. I didn't really pay attention, I guess. Honestly, when that shot opened on Bond's plane, I thought it was Scaramanga's car again because it's sort of engineered the same way, like the single turbine engine on the rear. And I thought that, like, my disbelief's out the window at this point, and I thought maybe his car just transformed into a whole ass plane.
It makes sense. I'll allow it.
But cool plane, I guess.
Yep.
So, what do you think about the little dinner that Nick Nack prepares for them? Well, that whole little scene. Like, what about whenever Bond talks about a wine and Scaramanga's like, oh, I have to add that to my wine list. Just because Bond talked about it. Like, Scaramanga's just that much of a groupie for Bond.
Yeah, no, Scaramanga's a straight up fanboy.
Yes.
Like, he's fanboying out right now.
Yes. Like, I just think that is so, like, strange. Like, is it not? Like,
it's strange, but it's sort of the same thing as like when Bond meets Felix in No Time to Die, and you get the kid there who's like gushing over Bond. I kind of got sort of the same thing, except
that ends differently. No spoilers.
Yeah. But I do think, I don't know, it's just kind of an interesting. What'd you call it? A character trait? Just, it's just an interesting.
Being slightly obsessive.
Yeah, like he's really fond of Bond, and I think he even said, like, my masterpiece is going to be killing you.
The 007, yeah.
So see, he and I think he even he probably explains it a lot better than I'm fixing to, but like he doesn't view killing as murder. It's really fun to him.
Yeah,
it's definitely like his I think it's his thrill, like his fix. That's his sport.
It's like his creative outlet. Like, instead of painting, he just kills people.
Well, first he designs these wild ass Count Dooku's playhouses to kill him in, and then he kills people.
Pee Wee's Playhouse.
Yeah.
So yeah, we get this old west kind of, not even old west. This could go back to even before then, when dueling was big, So we get this duel, they're walking 20 paces, and then Bond turns around and Scaramanga's nowhere to be found. So Bond has to go into the fun house. So
I think it's very unsportsmanlike of Scaramanga.
Oh, he's a cheater.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I picked up on, like, from the very beginning. Like, he's just a cheater.
Yes.
Oh, also, we didn't point out whenever Bond first lands on the island and walks up on the beach, Scaramanga like shoots near him. Like he could have killed Bond right there, but he wanted to play with him first. Like that was stupid. Really stupid.
Well, when you look at it, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Also, he puts the revolver on the tray and he seems unarmed. We haven't talked about the cigarette case gun yet.
Yeah.
Oh, the golden gun. Yeah.
Yeah, we haven't discussed that. So
We glossed over him killing High Fat too. I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is the reason. Oh yeah, there it
Here's
is.
the golden gun you speak of.
Does it can you disassemble it?
Who gave me this?
Do what?
You know who gave me that?
Who?
Jake Smith.
Where did Jake Smith get that?
Etsy, I guess. But yeah, he bought it for me.
Good old Jake Smith, man.
Yeah, man.
Isn't that the same guy that gave you the PPK?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, I mean, he didn't give me that. He let me borrow it. I got to give that back to him. And I think he does listen to. I don't know if he listened to our podcast, but he did listen to my channel, so he might be listening to this whenever we, put it out.
Well, if you see this, Jake Smith, hey, Jake Smith.
Yeah, if you see this, Jake Smith, so shout out to you. Love you, bro.
Yeah, if you see this, Jake, I want some guns.
Yeah.
Especially golden ones.
I want some Bond props.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to be honest with you. The golden gun, the shark gun off Live and Let Die, and the Moonraker laser are like, that's my, that's my most wanted, props. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes, those are like some of the, like, if I had a top 5 unique weapons, those definitely make the list. But the reason I brought up the high fat scene is because I think, I could be wrong, but I think this is like the first thing we really get to see Scaramanga disassemble the gun into these like everyday things. Yeah, isn't like the grip is like a cigarette case, right?
Yeah, the grip's a cigarette case, and then like the pen, the cigarette lighter, the cup link is what that is.
Oh yeah, right. That's a Q gadget, man. Like that's a really neat thing.
But, I just see this being like a big deal, like in the game GoldenEye, they had the golden gun mode. And I just remember as a kid, just always thinking that the golden gun was like the strongest gun in the world, because it would kill with one shot, So
what caliber was it? Do y'all know off the top of your head what
caliber was it, Colton?
I don't recall.
I can't remember. If you would have asked me another day, I might have been able to tell you, but
it looks like Caleb was booting up Microsoft Flight Simulator.
Yep. He's on the prowl.
Okay, the golden gun was a Cessna. Oh wait.
It's an AMC.
This man, I hate Google. You search something and all the top 5 results are ads.
You should just ask Jeeves.
You know what? I think I will. You guys continue.
John, we also didn't talk about at the dinner whenever Mary Goodnight comes in and he's made her change into a bikini. Do you remember what Bond says to Goodnight?
She's overdressed.
Is that how he says it?
Yeah, something like that. He's like, you're overdressed, aren't you?
Yeah. And then Scaramanga says, she's dressed this way because she can't conceal any weapons, which I think that's smart, but I think he was just perving.
Yeah, I mean, why not?
Yeah, he's got all the money and the power.
Yep. So Colton, how do you feel about the whole funhouse sequence?
It's fine. I feel like it would get old chasing the same couple, just chasing people through that funhouse would get old. Like I would want different things.
I thought the same thing.
Yeah. Like
But-
it was pretty cool, like the first 100 times he's killed people there, but like he lives on an island, dude. He's people over every weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, when I was watching it this time, I was like, okay, this guy's loaded. He charges $1 million per kill. If he wants it remodeled and new stuff put in and rearranged, he can just, go kill somebody real quick, then hire a contractor to come in. It's like, I want space themed this time.
he said.
So, what do you think
heard,
about the way that he kills Scaramanga?
Man, like I could tell something was going to happen with the mannequin.
Yeah,
It really telegraphed it the whole movie. But I was really disappointed in Scaramanga's character, letting that be the way that Bond got the one up on him. Like he kind of died all of a sudden in an anticlimactic way. Like it was a good death scene, acting wise. I just kind of wanted more, maybe a struggle or a fight. But overall, it's fine. It's better than the death scene in Live and Let Die.
One thing I want to also touch on is just the scheme of the villain. So pretty much he has a way to use solar energy, with the Soleil Sagittator.
The power of the sun in the palm of his hand.
Yes. Okay, so that is a Spider-Man 2 reference. If you don't know that, Jonathan.
What is
it?
I just said the power of the sun in the palm of his hand.
I was gonna mention that Christopher Lee, like Alfred Molina, looks very similar to a young Christopher Lee, if you'll notice. In my opinion.
Yeah.
I could
just say that.
So I totally think that like Raimi made a reference to that. The solar stuff.
It could be.
When I watched this movie, that was the first thing I thought of when he said it. I was like, man, I really think that's a small because I think Alfred Molina kind of, not now because his face has gotten wider and stuff, but like a younger Alfred Molina, he kind of favored Christopher Lee a little bit.
Well, you put a lot more thought in it than I did. The only connection I made was they're both solar related.
Yeah, so I'm sorry. Yeah. Like that was just I didn't mean to go on a tangent.
That's interesting.
Yeah. I'm so glad you brought that up because I like both of those actors a lot.
So after Bond dispatches Scaramanga, we see Mary Goodnight. She basically knocks the mechanic guy into that vat full of like super cold whatever. What is that?
Helium?
Like
was it helium, I think.
Was it liquid nitrogen?
Yeah, maybe that's what it was.
I think you said liquid helium.
Okay.
Maybe.
Like I think that was what was so stupid about it because they were calling it liquid helium or something. Also, the mechanic that she knocked in there, like 3 seconds before, right after he thought Scaramanga was dead or Bond was dead or something, like he flipped the light switch and started like rubbing on Mary Goodnight in a very weird way. He looks like he's never touched a woman before in his life.
I know.
It made me really uncomfortable.
Yes.
It may be uncomfortable, but I'll take that over Scaramanga rubbing the barrel of his gun.
Yeah, I know. That's a weird scene too.
Okay. It's like they were really trying to hammer home the lyrics of the song.
Like they were really trying to make you know that the golden gun is a substitute for a penis.
Yes. Yeah.
But anyway, so Bond goes up and tries to get the Solex out, and basically Mary Goodnight fumbles around with the controls and finally gets it out, and they leave and they get aboard Scaramanga's Chinese junk ship,
So,
and we see that someone has smuggled himself aboard with them, and of course it's little Knick-Knack.
so this is the scene that I was telling you I wanted you guys to remind me of when we're talking about Bond and his gun.
Oh, hey, real quick, Colton, don't forget about that thing you told me to remind you of.
Thank you so much, Caleb. I almost forgot.
Okay.
So there's a scene where Bond's trying to get the Solex agitator out of the glass casing, and he takes the pistol,
Yes,
like holds it upside down towards his body, and is beating it like a hammer. Like
the dumbest thing.
Oh, yeah, I forgot all about that.
Like that is terrible.
Yes.
So that's my little nitpick. Out of everything in this movie, I don't think Bond would do that.
I like to think that the gun expert or whatever they had on set was like, okay, Roger, we're gonna practice trigger discipline or whatever, and then he sees Roger beating the fuck out of that thing with a gun. He's like, never mind.
Yeah, never mind.
You're good. You're good, Roger.
Good. You got blanks in that thing, right?
So another place we could have used the slide whistle in this movie is where Knick-Knack's dropping out of the ceiling, like trying to stab Bond. Like,
if you could remove it from the jump and just put it there, I'll take that.
This whole section is just crazy. Knick-Knack's throwing wine bottles. Bond is, hitting them, and finally he just puts them in a suitcase, and it's just.
dude,
what is
like? I'm sorry, Caleb. Go ahead.
What is Knick-Knack's motivation? Is he mad that Bond blew up the island?
Yes, he's mad that Bond destroyed his inheritance. Is what he's mad at.
Okay,
that makes a lot of sense.
Because at first I was like, wait, this whole time he's been trying to get Scaramanga killed. Why is he mad? And then I was like, well,
Bond did blow the island
kind
up.
of knock his sandcastle over. So
did you see, like, I don't know if you guys slowed it down or we watched it, the scene where he starts throwing the wine bottles with how much like force he is like throwing, like it looks so weird. Like from here to here, him throwing it. I don't know if they sped the footage up.
They might have cut a frame out.
Maybe. Like it is so strange. Like it looks like he is chunking that shit.
I know, knowing what I know now, if I was Bond, I'd put some damn shoes on.
Oh yeah, like they just got right back in the bed, went back to having.
Yeah, just there's like they're making out, and then Bond's
it's a freaking piece of glass.
Yeah. Oh, hey, here's something I wanted to ask about this scene real quick. So we see the telephone come up, right? This is Scaramanga's boat, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Where'd M get the phone number for that?
Where did M get the phone number?
It is so weird.
Hugh, hand me the yellow pages.
Scaramanga.
Yes, Scaramanga's boat right here. Dial it.
Dude,
yeah, that's what I was wondering too. Like, how did M know Scaramanga's number? Like that, I think about, guys. I mean, y'all know how I am. Y'all know I'm a nerd for this stuff. But I think about stuff like that. I'll be like putting groceries out, putting like bell peppers, up at work, and be like, how did M know?
Like it'll just randomly hit you.
Number.
You're saying like you'll just be working and then like a thought like that'll randomly. Yeah, same here.
So, what about Bond saying he's like M's asking for
oh god
good night. He's like, she's coming.
She's just coming, sir.
It was ridiculous. Like that was really, really, really leaning into that.
On the nose.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
I do like how M is on the other line, like, good night, and then Bond's like, good night, sir.
Good night, sir.
It's so funny.
And then we get the woman saying, the singing, says what is it?
This is just a variation of the title sequence song, right? Yeah.
It's like nothing to fear. James Bond is here, or something like that. It's kind of corny, but I mean,
I
for
think
what
I
the movie
prefer
is,
that version to the one we got in the title sequence, honestly.
I too approve of it. I like it more better than the one at the beginning.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. I kind of dig it. I think it's corny as hell, but I mean, hey, it's the man with the golden gun, baby. This is 1974. We corny as hell this year.
Bro, he just hung a midget from the mast of a Chinese junk ship. And then proceeded to
Can
have
we
sex
say?
with the secretary.
I don't think we can say that.
Dude, he said, I've never killed a midget before.
Yeah, this is the 70s, dude.
You've been saying pointy head the whole movie, or the whole podcast. I don't think any little people listening to this are going to be mad because we said midget once.
Yeah, well, lucky for me, people from Thailand can't afford Hooked on Phonics, so.
Well, considering this movie was shot in Thailand, I'm surprised there were no ladyboys in the movie.
All right, guys. Let's keep it PG, all right? Let's keep it PG, boys.
It is PG, John.
So, final thoughts of the movie. What do you think about it? Colton, you first.
Man, I really enjoyed it. I mean, it's not great. I'm not trying to say it's great, but I really enjoyed it for what it was. I don't hate it. Like, it's probably right above Diamonds for me, if that makes any sense. Like, probably just because Christopher Lee was a gem in this movie.
I'm gonna have to say I view this movie as like, I mean, it's It and Diamonds Are Forever. I put in kind of like Diamonds Are Forever, and like A View to a Kill are three movies I just put together. They're like the ones that are like bad, but I still like them. I'm like, yeah, maybe a person who didn't like, wasn't as crazy as I am about Bond, maybe they would write it off, but I can find something I like in it. You know what I mean?
I feel the same way, John.
What about you, Kevin?
Christopher Lee brings this movie up a lot for me.
Yes.
Just him as the villain. Honestly, I wish he had more screen time. I wish he had more to do in general.
I wish he was James Bond in this movie.
Sorry?
I wish he was James Bond in this movie.
Dude, he would have made a great James Bond. He would have made a great Bond. Hey, real quick piece of trivia. If you haven't mentioned it already, if you did, I'm sorry, but he's related to Ian Fleming, right?
He sure is.
Second cousin, maybe?
Something like that. Third cousin, maybe? Is that it?
I don't know.
Yeah. He was related to Ian Fleming. And I think Ian Fleming had also suggested Christopher Lee.
That's right.
For Dr. No. Like the character of Dr. No. Fleming had been like, hey, he could play him. Yeah.
Yeah. I would have been perfectly fine with that, I think.
I think he could have done it,
And he was actually a some sort of
he was like a legit
reconnaissance.
Yeah, he was like a real life James Bond in World War II.
In a way, yes.
Yeah, like he hunted Nazis and so he was part of what is called the SOE, the Special Operations Executive. Pretty much like spies and really it's kind of like double O's during World War II is what it would be like.
Dude, they need to make a movie about him.
Yeah, man. For real. That'd be awesome, wouldn't it?
Yes. That'd be great.
Hey, well, we all three could go see it, and we could
make it. Let's make it.
Yeah, let's make it, boys.
Let's start a GoFundMe. What are you guys thinking for a budget? Like
$6 million?
$900? Anyway, let me wrap up my thoughts on the movie real quick.
Sorry,
no, you're fine. Christopher Lee as the villain, honestly, I could say that he was wasted in a way. And I really wish they would have fleshed out his backstory a little more. Remember when I touched on him talking about how he grew up in the circus and why he started killing people for sport? That could have been, really interesting, but this movie's too more concerned with slide whistles. So we don't have time for that. Don't have time for any depth or substance.
No character development.
Character, yeah, sure. But in general, and maybe I was just going into this with really low expectations, I enjoyed it.
I enjoyed the hell out of it.
Yeah, the story and the plot is really stupid. Like, it's maybe that's not the best way to put it, but I feel like they kind of spoon feed.
It's dumbed down a lot.
Yes, that's yeah.
Well,
But just like 5, 6 out of 10, something like that.
I would probably give this a 6 or a 7 if I was grading on a 10 scale. Probably a 7. I'd probably go with a 7 on it.
Ask me tomorrow, and it'll probably be a 1. You know, like, but for my one viewing last night, when the movie ended, I was like, you know what? I liked it. I enjoyed that.
So
I don't
I-
know if it's just
Sorry.
me. Like, oh, I'm sorry, Colton. Are you trying to say something? And I'm just like,
it's okay. I'll say it after you're done. I didn't mean to interrupt you, man. My bad.
oh, you're good, dude. Like, so I don't know if it's just me, like, a little bit influenced by my wife liking it so much, but like, I really, I mean, I got to echo the same thoughts of Caleb. I really enjoyed it the other night whenever I watched it. I mean, one thing that I want to highlight is the legacy of this movie. I don't know if you guys have played the 007 games, but most 007 games have a golden gun in it.
They reference this movie in some way. Most of
Right.
the time, it's the golden gun. Yeah.
But I mean, there is a golden gun in most Bond games, and also the character Francisco Scaramanga is. Caleb, did you ever play GoldenEye Rogue Agent?
Briefly.
The one that you play is like a
Yes.
villain.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, Scaramanga is like the Q character in that game. Like he gives you your upgrades and stuff.
The same character from the movie.
Yes.
So he survived in this.
Well, I mean, this is like an alternate universe.
Sure. Yeah. I get that. I'm asking how is it explained in the game?
They don't explain it at all.
Okay.
It's just Well, see, in the game, Scaramanga is part of Spectre,
Okay.
and like along with Goldfinger and like a bunch of people. Like,
Okay. So this is just like a parallel
yes,
timeline, basically. Okay.
but like it was a game that came out in like 2004.
I remember it being fun to play.
Yes. Like a lot of people don't like it, but I feel like I like it a hell of a lot more than a lot of other people like it.
Dude, I love those what if scenarios.
Yes.
Like, yeah. Like I want a game or a movie at the very least of J.W. Pepper in a bikini on the island.
In high heels. Don't forget
It's-
the high heels.
I will tell you this, and I know this is me getting off on a tangent, but you were talking about like a what if or like whatever movie.
Yeah.
I wish we could get a movie, kind of like the Joker, but instead of the Joker, it'd be like Blofeld. It just details like Blofeld's rise to power. I would love that. You know what I mean?
Yes, but I
want
it.
A movie for me. Like,
I want it to disregard the Craig series.
yes,
And I want it to be its own thing. Just pull everything from the novels. Everything's there.
yes,
You don't need to make him related to Bond.
yes, exactly. Which I mean, this is a little bit of spoiler for my Spectre review, but I don't hate the Blofeld as Bond thing as much as a lot of people do. But I'm not really a fan of it, Caleb. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I don't like hate it as much as I've seen some people hate it.
As much as a slide whistle, maybe.
Yeah, I don't hate it as much as that.
So
But,
before I forget my talking point, because I definitely will, we're talking about what if stuff. What I was going to say a minute ago is I think I would have really liked it if Christopher Lee had played Red Grant.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, okay. So Colton, I think he would be a good Red Grant. I could not imagine anybody in that position besides the guy that played him.
Yes.
Because I love that dude as Red Grant.
I do too.
I'm not saying I don't. I do love that guy as Red Grant. I think he's perfect. I'm just saying, like,
he could do it.
Well, all the components for that movie would have been perfect because, like, him going up against Sean Connery would have been perfect.
Yeah.
And him doing all the assassin stuff with Christopher Lee would have been perfect, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like if they had done that stuff in this movie with Christopher Lee, I think it would have made it a far better film.
I will. This may be what you were trying to say anyway, but like, what I just came up with kind of is like, the way I would put it is, it would be cool if Scaramanga just got more to do.
Yeah.
Like,
Yes.
it sort of did the Red Grant-esque, assassination stuff.
Yeah, like actually be an assassin in the movie.
So-
Yeah, that's sort of what I had in mind when I said eh, he was wasted in a way.
Yeah, he definitely
Like,
was.
you've got the
Christopher,
material, you got the actor. I mean, it's fine as it is, but like, they kind of fumbled an opportunity to do something really cool.
it's like they were baking a really good cake and then didn't turn the oven up high enough. If that makes sense.
I got you.
Yeah.
So one thing I do want to bring up,
Robert Shaw, sorry.
yeah, Robert Shaw.
Yeah.
One thing I
What
do
did-
want to bring up, guys, is have either of y'all read the book, The Man with the Golden Gun?
Not yet. No.
Man, I don't know if I have. It's been so long ago.
So this movie and book are like radically different. Like, I mean, so different. So different. Like, Scaramanga in the book was like a thug, like just a thug. Whereas
Like a
Christopher Lee-
street.
yes,
Yeah.
Whereas Christopher Lee is more refined, and I mean, Christopher Lee's pretty much just like James Bond, cultured, and he knows all that stuff just like Bond does. But the book Scaramanga is a lot different than the movie Scaramanga. And I would say that the movie Scaramanga is probably the better version.
That's what I was thinking. Maybe I haven't read that book, but okay, so what is Scaramanga's motivation to kill in the novel?
So in the novel, Scaramanga is just like an assassin, and he's
a hired gun.
he's like a hitman. He had like started being like a mafia hitman,
Okay.
and then like he went to the Caribbean in like Jamaica,
Yeah.
and he's also connected to like the KGB,
Okay.
the Russians. So like gangsters and the KGB are like making like criminal rackets and stuff like that in Caribbean islands. That's what Scaramanga is doing in the books. Whereas the movie, he's charging $1 million a shot and doing all sorts of cool things. In the book, it's not really that big of a deal. It's just rackets, pretty much.
Do you think that has to do with you probably know this book came out pretty close to Ian Fleming's death,
Yeah.
and a lot of people consider it just not really polished.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm glad you brought that up. For real, because I mean, I guess sometimes when I like reading it, it's a very short book. It's not long.
Yeah.
And maybe there is a little bit of feeling that it's not just fully complete,
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you. But I mean, honestly,
Well, I don't know that, but since you brought that up, I was thinking like, I wonder if it would have been different,
yeah.
and maybe even closer to the on-screen version had Ian Fleming had time to go back and
But I mean, it's not a bad book. That being said, I still like this book. I enjoyed whenever I read it. I do not think it's a bad one. Now, I have heard some people say that it's not good at all, but yeah, it's all right. It's not bad. I think y'all would like it if you listen to it.
Man, I've got to get the audiobooks
Yeah,
I've got the physical books, but
Yeah.
there's no way I don't have time to sit down and read.
I would really like for us to go on a podcast for the books too. Colton, did you read
I would
Trigger
love that.
Mortis?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be down.
Did you read Trigger Mortis?
No, I got like 20 or so pages in Trigger Mortis, but my vacation, it ended up being kind of crazy, so I didn't have that much downtime in the cabin. I am reading the second Raymond Benson novel at the moment on Scribed, but it's
Yeah.
not Scribed anymore. It's Everband or something. They changed the name of the app.
Oh, they did?
They did. They rebranded. But I am reading it on there, and I'm really enjoying it. It's the one with the poison. I forget what it's called.
Is that the
It's the one that's in Texas with Felix Leiter, and Felix is in a wheelchair. It's dealing with the ricin, the ricin.
yeah, I know what you're talking about. What is
The
that?
name of the poison that they're making with it. You know, Caleb's over here like, what the hell are they talking about?
No, I'm sort of on board.
Let me look, and I'll tell you the name of the book. It's a really good book. It's really well written. I'm really loving the stuff Benson's doing.
Benson is awesome, man.
Yeah, he really is.
The Facts of Death, is that it?
Yeah, the Facts of Beth.
Yes. Yeah.
While you guys are on this, I'm sorry. While you guys are on this, I've got to see to something, but I will
Okay.
be right back. So
Go
you
ahead.
guys, talk about what's it called again? I'm sorry. What was the name of the book?
The Facts of Death.
Facts of Death. Okay. Yeah, talk about that shit.
Okay. So Colton,
Yes,
one
John.
thing is the Facts of Death. Is that the one where he gets the Jaguar or the Jaguar?
Yeah, they do call it a Jaguar in this.
Yeah.
That's
So
what Q called
I remember whenever I was listening to this book, I thought it was awesome that Bond was driving a Jag. I really did.
it. Yeah, I think it's really cool.
I was working at Rural King whenever I listened to this book, and it was on script.
So that was like in the past 4 or 5 years, right?
Yes, I like probably about 3 years ago is when I listened to it, and there was a good little period there where like every morning I would work because I would go in at 5 a.m. I'd be bumping that Bond audiobook up in there. It was awesome, man. I loved it. Like
they're so digestible.
Yes.
Like you can pick up and leave and come back. The way he writes is like he makes enough callbacks to where even if you hadn't picked it up in a few days, man, like it's really good.
You will meet some people that do not like the Bond continuation novels at all. But like, dude, honestly, I mean, even at the bottom of the barrel, whenever I was listening to John Gardner Bond books, the ones that he has some that like I didn't like.
Yeah.
Even then, I mean, I still thought it was all right. It was just not as good as his other ones. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
I
yeah,
haven't read any of those yet. So
what?
I haven't read any of John Gardner's yet. So
But yeah, like I love the continuation novels, and I know a lot of people haven't read them, but like I'm big on them. I love that stuff.
well, I'm really enjoying them right now. I'm sure Caleb will too whenever he gets into them.
Oh yeah. But Raymond Benson's novelizations of Tomorrow Never Dies and The World Is Not Enough and Die Another Day, they're really good too.
Yeah, I'll probably read those whenever I watch those movies, probably, because I still haven't revisited those yet, but I know we're not too far off now.
So let me ask you this. Did anybody play the new Bond game that came out?
Man, I've been meaning to. I'm sorry. I have not
That's
got
all
around to
good.
it yet. Hey, real quick, you guys want to see something cool?
Sure.
Sit, Bo. Sit. Speak. Speak. Good boy. Keep paw. Lay down. Sit. Good boy.
He's so pretty.
He can whisper too. Sit. Sit. Whisper. No. He's too excited. Whisper. Oh, I almost had it. Whisper. Good boy.
That's so cool, man.
You probably couldn't hear him through the mic, but
No, we could.
I could hear it.
he said, "Yeah, I could. I'm deaf now."
But well, all right, guys. Anything you want to add?
I would like to add to the last video. I read some feedback from a Blackness Monster, who's my friend Andrew Beck, and I think I had said that the previous person I reviewed was a close friend of mine. Andrew Black is a close friend of mine too, and I wanted to mention that too. So they're both close friends of mine, and also I think your dad left some feedback. If you wanna read that.
My dad?
No.
Oh,
John's dad. John's
What did he
dad.
say?
I don't remember exactly what he said. I can go look. I think it was on the GoldenEye video. If you want me to go look,
He's probably like, tell that Caleb kid to shut his pointy head up.
Man, ain't no telling what my dad said.
I think he just said that he was really enjoying the podcast.
Hey, well,
That's good.
my dad did say that we are being way too long with these videos.
Well, how long is this one?
Dude, we've been on here for 2 hours. It feels like.
Wait, but guys, listen. We talking about Bond. We talking about what we love. You know, who cares if it's 2 or 3 hours?
I do love Bond now. You guys have converted me. So.
Oh, I know you do. I can tell.
If you guys wanted to start at like 7 a.m., I would still be.
Same here.
Yeah.
I would be fine.
Guys, I'm gonna tell you, if I did not have to work on Saturdays, I swear, I'd be up for doing all sorts of different videos. Like
we could fill up an entire week. You know, if you wanted to upload just once a day throughout the week, yeah, I'd be down.
Today we're reviewing the James Bond lapel.
So
45-minute video.
And today we're reviewing this drawing that my stepdaughter did of James Bond.
You know, I will say this: my stepdaughter and my wife did the gun barrel sequence for me, painted it.
Is it in the bar?
It is in one of my classrooms.
Oh, okay.
But I will take a picture of it and send to you guys.
I would like to see that.
I just love it. Like,
do you have any of their art in the bar there?
I don't actually.
Okay.
I need to get some though. I need to have my stepdaughter paint me or draw me some stuff so I can put up. But
hey, John,
what
if Michelle doesn't want to come on the podcast and be seen and stuff, she should upload her thoughts voice wise because she has a good podcast voice.
She does. She really does.
I know that's what I'm trying to say too. Like, I would love to get her on here because y'all know how Michelle is. You can view her on this channel because she is in a few of the drink videos that I've done. And yeah. I'm going to try to do some stuff for Christmas, the month of December. I got some ideas for some videos then. I've been really getting into the James Bond Jr. stuff here lately. Did you guys see the stuff I sent you?
Yeah.
I did. I thought it was really cool.
Yeah,
dude, this is going back to what you're talking about your wife. Like, why don't she want to come on? She'd be perfect.
I know that's what I'm trying to say.
Like,
it'd be awesome. Like,
if nothing else, I'm trying to encourage her, but I really mean it. Like, I think she'd be a great addition.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it'd be really nice to have a woman's point of view on a lot of things that we look at from a man's perspective.
Maybe not my wife's, but
Katie doesn't like a lot of it either. So,
let me see what I can do. Maybe I can get her on here.
That's not entirely true. My wife watched a good portion of The Man with the Golden Gun with me, surprisingly, but she was not present for the part where Roger Moore was being a little aggressive.
Yeah.
She probably wouldn't like that. I didn't like that.
Katie walked in the room during the karate school scene and she was like, what the shit?
Dude, I wanna say something about that real quick. That was so tacked on, man. Like,
yes. Really weird.
We're starting to get into, but Bond is no longer trendsetter.
Yeah.
We're starting to get into trend follower, and it's gonna get more and more prevalent. I guess I should just be thankful that the whole movie wasn't kung fu themed. It wasn't Crouching Tiger, Hidden Golden Gun.
Hey, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Bond.
Yeah,
Crouching
dude.
Tiger, Hidden Third Nipple.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Crouching Tiger, Hidden Slide Whistle.
What if whenever they revealed Scaramanga's third whistle, it was just third whistle, third nipple, it was slide whistle.
Like that's the sound effect that they played, or
he opens his shirt and zooms in on a nipple and just slide whistle plays.
I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. I've been dabbling in editing some, which you guys know. I'm going to take this movie and replace every single sound effect, dialogue, gunfire, car engines, whatever, with slide whistles.
The Man with a Golden Gun, but it's slide whistles.
Yes.
The Mabry Whistle Edition.
Yeah.
So, I do want to ask y'all something, all right? And I've listened to a lot of other Bond podcasts, and they ask this question a lot. So I'm gonna ask y'all, what's the most Bond-like thing that you've done here lately?
Well, I slapped my wife yesterday. Does that count?
Oh yeah,
No, me.
that's up there.
No, I'm kidding, man. Um, I don't really think I do any Bond-like things. I wish I did. I'm not that cool.
Caleb.
I I do a lot of physical stuff at work, but I like nothing that would really be considered Bond-like. I don't think. Maybe having my foot stabbed. I
Well, I had eggs, which is James Bond's favorite food. I've been eating
oh well,
lately.
okay. I drank water.
Okay, so I stayed up all week doing strenuous things and got very little sleep. Does that is
That's
that
yeah. Oh yeah.
okay? That's my James Bond thing for the week.
Never mind.
No.
No, I'm not making
Never
fun of you.
mind.
I'm not making fun of you, John.
Okay, hold on. I am curious. I was going to ask this for real. How did you have your eggs prepared, and what did you have with them? Because that's got a lot to do with it.
You know, there's a video on the channel of me.
I've seen it. I've seen it.
Oh, you have?
Yeah, I've watched all your videos, man.
Appreciate that, Caleb. For
Of
real.
course. Now, dude, I've been wanting to tell you this for a long time. I love that video. My only gripe is we never get to see you eat them. Why didn't you like?
By the time he got done with the video, the eggs were cold.
Or he ran out of battery.
Man, you know, that is one of my favorite videos. My
I like
wife's
that one.
father, who's dead now, he's in that video
Oh,
for like 5 seconds. And
yeah,
like some nights me and her watch that video, just
yeah, that's sweet,
seeing her
man.
daddy in there. It's just
That, yeah, I like that.
that's one of my favorites.
But yeah, I was anticipating the scene where you finally dig in and you're like, this shit sucks. Now, or just something like that.
Like you take a bite and then automatically you're wearing a tuxedo.
Yeah.
Yes.
But
We'll have to edit that in post.
so anyway, guys, last words on The Man with the Golden Gun.
It gets a passing grade from me. I suggest anybody out there who kind of likes James Bond, watch it. It's a fun watch. I think you'll enjoy it and you'll have a good laugh.
What do you think? No. What do you think, Jonathan?
Hands up, don't shoot.
Okay.
Because I know you said that it surprised you as to how much you enjoyed it. So
I mean, honestly, Caleb, like this has always been one of this. I mean, if we're being honest, and I love Diamonds Are Forever. This one, Diamonds Are Forever, A View to a Kill.
you sort of put in the same
They're always
bracket.
kind of at the bottom, and I like all those movies. But if I have to put any of them at the bottom, it would be these movies. But
This
I mean,
one actually, real quick, I shared that same opinion up until I watched this movie. I'm not saying I would take this movie out from the lower end of the spectrum because, in the context of Bond movies, this ranks lower. But I would not put it in the same bracket as A View to a Kill or what was the other one what was the other one you mentioned?
Diamonds Are Forever.
Yeah, no, like there's a pretty big gap in my opinion as far as but I did enjoy Diamonds Are Forever, but for different reasons.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah. And that's another thing I was going to bring up, like the worst Bond movie, which I don't know. Obviously my taste has changed dramatically from or since the last time I watched these movies because there's been a few that I've changed my opinion on pretty dramatically, but even the worst Bond movie always has great moments.
Yeah.
There's always something to take from it, in my opinion.
I totally agree with you, Caleb. Like,
yeah,
totally.
And it could be a case. Maybe this movie just had more of those moments than I remember.
Yeah.
Uh, but I'm anxious. I tell you what, I'm really looking forward to. I am looking forward to Octopussy and A View to a Kill because for different reasons. I, I've heard a lot of people say that Octopussy is one of the best Bond movies,
It,
and
yeah,
it's another one of those that I never really gave a fair shake. I probably
it
watched
is.
it. Yeah, I probably watched it a handful of times and decided after that that I just didn't like it, and
Yeah.
I just put it in the same camp as all the other Roger Moore movies and just considered it not good. But uh, what was the other one? A View to a Kill. I don't, I don't. I'm saying this now just so if my opinion does change, I'll have some point of reference. I don't think that movie has anything about it that is going to redeem itself. I'm just putting that out there. I hope it does. I really do.
But okay, so I do like that movie more than most do. I will say this: that might be the lowest point of the whole Bond series of You to a Kill.
That's got to be the worst one, right?
But even that one, dude, I find things that I like with
Oh,
it.
I can just off the top of my head, I can think of like two or three scenes in that movie that I love.
Yeah.
You take it out of the movie, take it out of what's surrounding it,
Yeah.
and maybe put it in a better movie. But
Colton, do you like A View to a Kill? Have you seen? No, you haven't seen that one, have you?
Nope. This is only the second Moore film I've seen, so like I'm experiencing these things fresh. So you guys aren't really making me look forward to that one, but I'm still hoping I can go in it with open.
well, here's the. Go ahead.
There's a lot to like about that movie. I swear, it's not bad. It's just, I don't know. It's its own thing. You need to watch it.
Here's the thing, and this is what I find interesting. As soon as we crossed that bridge into the Roger Moore era, I got depressed. I was like, "God, this is going to be a chore, man. I hate these." But so far, and I know this is only the second one, but Live and Let Die, which has always been my favorite Moore movie,
Yeah.
but not my favorite Bond movie. Does that make sense? Like,
Yes.
I really, really, really liked that movie.
Love it.
Yeah, it was good.
And I really liked this movie. And going back to some of the Connery movies that I remember hating, Diamonds Are Forever. I had a lot of fun with it.
I don't think I gave that a fair enough chance, man. I was just really disappointed with Connery at the time, so I feel like I might like it more going back later.
Yeah, well, here's what I was trying to say, just real quick. So that's what's kind of making me look forward to these next few movies because I'm anxious to see if my opinion has changed.
Yeah.
Because I want to like these movies.
Well, the next movie we have is The Spy Who Loved Me, which is one of my favorite Bond movies.
It's up there, man. Yeah.
It's like Roger Moore's Goldfinger in a way.
That is a great way to put it.
Don't tell me that.
I think
set the bar super high.
Yeah, I'm gonna be very happy. I'm gonna be very I'm gonna have a lot of good things to say about this movie whenever we watch it. Colton, have you seen it yet?
No.
Man, I'm excited to watch it. I may watch it tonight.
Man,
I love that movie.
It is a great movie. It really is. And I want to watch it tonight too. I might go in there and get my wife and say, "Hey, baby, let's watch The Spy Who Loved Me."
I'm seriously considering it now.
Yeah, I'm considering it too. But I do look forward to all of us watching it. Colton, I think you will really like it. Does anybody have anything else to say about The Man with the Golden Gun?
We touched on the scene with the sumo wrestlers. I don't like how Bond got out of that situation. I thought that was really dumb. I do like that image of Nick Nack holding the trident with the mask on his face. That was so creepy and so unnerving. I really like that visual, and it kind of it bumped the scene up a little bit after the whole sumo wrestler encounter.
I liked Bond sneaking into that fortress to get there.
Yeah, Hip was like, are you talking about the part where he jumps over the wall or?
Yeah,
Okay, yeah, it's a little that's a few minutes back, but yeah, that was Hip's like, you better not go in there, and Bond's like, no, I think I'm gonna go in there.
yep.
That's the
I'm
last
gonna
time
do that.
we see Roger Moore smoke a, that's the last time we see Bond smoke a cigar until dying of the day.
Really?
Really?
Oh, this is the last. I think this is the last Bond movie to come out like consecutively after like what am I trying to say? Like in the consecutive year that a Bond movie came out in the previous year.
So there's like a small hiatus.
It is. Because
Uh,
Live and Let Die came out in 73.
Mm.
This one came out in 74. It's the last time it would ever do that.
yeah, I don't know if I don't know how big of a gap there has been in the release of the movies thus far,
Yeah.
but I do know that yeah, like early on, it was kind of an annual thing,
Yeah.
and now it's like 13 years between movies.
For real. But well, all right. Anything got any does anybody have anything to add before we sign off?
I think I've said my piece on this one. I've really enjoyed talking to you guys about it today. I hope our listeners enjoyed it.
Thank you, Caleb. Thank you, Colton, Dr. Fate. And Caleb, you got anything to say?
I want to talk about slide whistles. So I got the Wikipedia page pulled up here. Slide whistles were invented. No, I'm just kidding.
By Sheriff J.W. Pepper.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of what I want to close on. As much as I dogged on the movie, I had fun watching it.
Me
Like
too.
it's a more
I really
competent.
did.
I sort of said the same thing about Diamonds Are Forever. I'm like, oh, this is a bad movie, but I had fun watching it, and it's kind of the same case here. But this is a much more competent movie
Yeah.
than that.
It
So, um, I I mean, I don't know why I'm comparing it to Diamonds. Uh, I guess because that's kind of been the worst one though so far. But uh, yeah, I mean, it's okay. I had this thought when I was watching this movie. It kind of felt like you guys ever watch a TV series and like throughout maybe during the middle of the season that you get like a filler episode.
Yeah.
Does this not kind of feel like a filler?
Yeah. I get
Like,
that.
yeah. But yeah, that's all I wanted to say.
Well, next week we will be back with a far better Bond movie, which is The Spy Who Loved Me, one of my personal favorites. Colton, I envy you. This will be the first time you ever see it. Caleb, I think you said it's been a minute since you've seen it. I can't remember how long it's been since I've seen it, but I'm going to enjoy watching it again. And remember to like, comment, subscribe, do all that stuff. All right. Get us out there, share. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Are you talking to me?
Talking to the audience.
Listeners.
Oh, I was about to say I already do all that stuff, man.
I do it too.
But so if we have nothing else to say, I'm Jonathan Lonham, and I'm out for tonight.
See you guys next week.
Oh, I'm Steve Allen. No, Caleb Mabry. My YouTube channel is Break Shot Billiards. I haven't uploaded in like 3 months, but you're welcome to hop on there and see what I have uploaded.
All right.
I'd like to say one final thing.
Subscribe to Break Shot Billiards, everyone.
And subscribe to For Your Eyes Only.
Yes, I haven't uploaded anything besides these podcasts in like 8 months.
Have you uploaded anything in our break?
It's been a minute.
You know what I'm saying? Well, the last thing you uploaded was the previous episode.
Yes.
You better get to work.
I know. I need to.
We need that review of the 007 mobile game.
Sounds good.
I need to know whether to download it or not.
Do it.
Okay.
Can you get that on MacBook?
I think anything with Apple Arcade, you can get it on.
Bro, I'm gonna see if I can get it on Katie's MacBook because she's
Hold on a second. What do you've got a Windows laptop? Is that right?
Me?
Both of you.
I've got a Dell laptop, so I have.
Okay, but it runs Windows.
Yeah.
What have you got, Colton? What do you
Mac-
own, right?
a MacBook.
Sorry?
A MacBook.
Okay, I'm not sure about a Mac device, but Jonathan, if you download a Android emulator, you can download that game and play it on your PC.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
So the game I have a iPad, and I've been playing it on that.
Right, but if it is offered on the Android App Store, the Google Play Store, is that what it's called?
Yeah, it's not offered on it.
It's not.
on Apple.
It's Apple only.
Apple Arcade only.
Then disregard everything I just said. I am full of shit.
It's okay.
We still love you, Katie.
Yeah, we love you, Caleb. Well, all right, guys. It's been cool. And I will see you next week with The Spy Who Loved Me.
Good morning, good night.
Caleb Humphrey signing off.
Adios. Goodbye, boys.
See you, man.
Thank you for joining us on For Your Ears Only, a Bondcast, episode 9, The Man with the Golden Gun.